Good morning, everybody. My name is Isaac, and I wanted to start documenting some things as far as that I'm experiencing in my life, as far as my back problems, and with hopes of maybe finding answers, because finding answers from doctors can not be so easy, from what I've learned. So I'm just going to start from the beginning. July 23rd, 2019. I was on my way to the gym. I used to work out 5 days a week. I'd go on my lunch break. So this particular day, I drove up to the gym, and I got to the parking lot. When I got to the parking lot, I was just going to get out of my car, basically. So all I did was swing my leg out to get out of the car, and all of a sudden I felt something in the left side, lower back. And I was just like, oh man, what was that? So me and my stupidity, I'm like, I'm already at the gym. Let me just go in there and I'm just going to go light. Because, working out was like my therapy. I loved it. So I go in there and I start grabbing some weights, kind of light, and I start working out, and it made it worse. I was like, oh no, I better not do that. So I put the weights down, limped to my car, and I'm out of there. I've thrown my back out before and, gotten better within, a week or two. But this one was just lingering, it was just the pain was there, and I couldn't really do too much. I mean, the limping was still there. So I go to the doctor, and he said, yeah, just take it easy. He's all, matter of fact, you can probably still work out. You want to build the core around your injury. And so, I'm listening to this guy and I'm working out. Not heavy. It couldn't go heavy, obviously. Nothing was working. It was still, hurting. So fast forward, that happened in July. Fast forward to February, the following February. So it's already been, 5, 6, 7 months around there. I started getting sciatic pain shooting down my leg. Like level 10 pain 24/7. Never had it before in my life like that. So it was sciatic pain shooting down my left leg, and I had that for 3 months, and it was just so painful, and just took my mind off of everything else, and it was just so hard to just push through the day. It was just dealing with that. Couldn't find a space of comfort at all. No relief. Took some stuff called gabapentin. Didn't work. Stopped taking that. So go to the doctor, get an MRI finally after fighting, and they find a 7mm extrusion and protrusion. So my disc popped out and was going down, pushing against my nerve. So we scheduled for me to get a microdiscectomy. I was like, oh man, let's do something. I'm whatever you can do, just get in there. And so it's where they go in your back, little pin size area. They snip off the part that's hitting the nerve, so you back up and you're on your way. You got to do rehab, stuff like that. So we had that scheduled for late in March. We scheduled about a month in advance, something like that. All of a sudden COVID hit, and all the surgeries were shut down. And I'm just like so depressed, like, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do now? I got to live like this for the rest of my life with all this pain. What am I going to do? So somebody told me about an inversion table. So I bought an inversion table, and it's where you lay on your back and you go upside down. So I started doing that, and within a week or two, I started getting relief finally from my sciatic pain. And after about 3 months of using that, the sciatic pain was gone. Back pain still there, can't move, stiffness, all that stuff still there. So we go get an MRI again, maybe about 8 months later, because I'm still not, it's still all beat up back there, still hurting. The disc, the herniated disc, sucked itself back into place, so that was a good thing. I wasn't having that nerve pain. But still, just I felt like something in my, and I'll point to it right here because I can tell the doctors exactly where I feel it. This is where the pain is originating from, and it's feel like it's spreading. Now it's going up to my upper middle back, kind of feels like my feels like my middle spine is, when I drive and stuff, it feels like it's just loose and moving around, and it's just an awful feeling to this day. So this is the area, it's kind of like right here. And it kind of feels like there's a bump there. The doctors have looked, and I went to a hip doctor too. And then up to recently, I actually, let me go back a little bit. So then all of a sudden it started affecting my driving. Like I was saying, when I'm driving, it feels like I got to brace myself because the middle of my spine now feels like it's kind of moving, and it's just a weird feeling. So I brace myself when I make turns. I got a back brace behind my seat because it's so uncomfortable if I don't wear that. It's just the pain. So then I started like looking up SI joint issues. So I had an injection on my SI joint maybe a month and a half ago. That didn't do anything, so it wasn't my SI joint that was causing the pain. So 2 days ago, after a couple years of doctors recommending an epidural shot, I finally decided to get one. So 2 days ago I got one, and so far I'm not fully feeling the effects, but they said don't give a gray point on it until about a month later to see how everything works. But I'm still trying to find issues, because I've had one doctor tell me he could do surgery on me, but he's not sure if it's going to work, and I'm like, I don't want to hear that. I want to know if I'm hurting, I'm going to go in there and get fixed. I took those same images to a doctor in LA, and the doctor in LA said if any surgeon wants to do surgery on that back, they need to be in jail, because it looks like from the images you have the back of the spine of a 19 or 18, 19-year-old. And I'm like, well, where's all the pain coming from? And he's like, well, that's the thing, we're not sure. So if anybody has any advice, if you're going through the same things, feeling that pain right here on the left side, lower back, that's where all my pain originates, it seems like. And up to recently, I just started having like hip pain on my sides, and I'm sure it's all connected somehow, but starting to have some pain on the side of the hips and on the front of my thighs. It's not like sciatic pain, but it's like on the front of my thighs. So yeah, so I'm gonna start documenting these things and give you guys updates on if this epidural really worked for me, because I've been dealing with this for 3 years, and it's just affecting my life. I went from 185 pounds in great shape to now 220 pounds, can't work out at all, so it's affected my life. I went through depression. Still feel like I'm fighting through some of that, because I can't do a lot of things. I have 2 teenage boys that try to do the best for. I'm engaged to an amazing woman that has my back and helps out, immensely. But I just want my life back. So if anybody has any advice, any things that you've done that you're having some of the same symptoms I'm having, and you've had them fixed or identified at least, I know there's a lot of people out there that have back pain and dealing with stuff like this. So it's funny when I tell people I have back pain, they're like, oh, I have back pain too, and they're out there still working out, and they're still at work lifting stuff around, and that's not the kind of back pain I have. I got back pain that won't allow me to do any of that. So it's a little different. So yeah, man. So give me any updates or any suggestions, any advice. I know there's a lot of us that are in this together. All right, we'll talk to you later.